The SRX, completely new with this 2010 model year. Shorter, lower, wider, with more audacious lines, but no longer with a V8. Let's see what does live under the hood and check the tech. It's only a few inches shorter than the old SRX, but the new Caddy really prints like a different class of vehicle in person. Think Lexus RX. Ours is crystal red over shale leather seats with these brownstone-colored sort of pleather dash accents.
Let's go to the feature of the main cabin stack, and that is, of course, Cadillac's signature power whoopsie-daisy peekaboo display. Depending whether it's up or down, it changes its display of information to fit the available space, of course. The navigation system is the first thing we'll look at, and it's a particularly good one. It's in the upper echelon of look and feel. It is a touchscreen, so you can get to it by hand. You've also got this rotating menu knob down here if you prefer to use that. Now let's get on to our media choices. Quite a few on this vehicle, very Cadillac-esque in that respect. We've got radio and AM, FM, and satellite radio, XM in this case. I believe it's a 3-month complimentary when you get this vehicle on sat radio. Here are your presets down here. They are, of course, mixed presets. You can put FM, satellite, AM, whatever you want across there, and you've got 4 banks. But getting past the radio gets more interesting. Here is our media selection. Hard drive up here is 10 gigabytes of space that is part of the hard drive-based nav system, and you can rip CDs to that. Disc will bring you either CD or DVD. We have rear seat entertainment on this car, and the DVD player will also slave off to that. USB, of course, refers to either a USB thumb drive you can put down here in this kind of kludgy little cabin well, and or an iPod can connect there. Auxiliary jack, of course, is right next to it, and you see that there. And finally, the AV input refers to a set of AV RCA jacks, stereo audio and video. That, by the way, is part of the rear seat entertainment system. All but the base model of this car includes front and rear park distance sensors, and then when you get a little bit higher in the trim, you also get a rear view camera. And on this car, it's going to give you a pretty good shot out the back in terms of what you might hit, distance-wise, trajectory of where you're aimed. That plus the sensors gives you a pretty good array of input, maybe even too much, of where you're going. The liftgate on this car is kind of interesting. You know, most of these power liftgates, you press the button to open or press the button to close. But this guy has a 3/4 mode and can also be stopped midway. So if you're in an area that has reduced height back there, you know, a lot of garages have pipes hanging down and that kind of thing, you just press it again to pause it, and then press it again and it comes back down, and you can set it to a 3/4 open so it automatically doesn't go all the way up and bang itself up or break its own glass. Now on the output side, 2 audio systems on this car. The base is Bose audio, so they start at least a branded level, but it's not surround sound, it's just Bose audio. But then if you go to the upgraded head unit stack like we have here, you're going to get 10 speakers, again Bose branded speakers and amplification, as well as 5.1 surround ability. Now back here in this little guy is not a bad place to watch a movie. We have the optional rear seat entertainment system, a couple of, I believe these are 8-inch LCDs. Flip that up and you've got plenty of space. Not a touchscreen though, you operate that with a remote that goes A/B depending which source you want to work off of. You've also got those AV aux inputs down here for any kind of a portable media player. But check this out, a separate and additional yellow RCA for basic composite video. They call that a game port, so it's just right for piping your game player video out to this. Not sure exactly what the cable situation is, but you work that out yourself. Now on all but the base units of the SRX, you get what they call this UltraView power roof. You got a fixed pane in the back, and of course this big boy here in the front that moves and tilts. Okay, to the engine bay. This vehicle has a 3.0 liter direct injection V6. Not the bigger 3.6 liter V6 that we've loved in other Cadillacs. This is kind of the baby. 265 horsepower, 223 foot-pounds of torque. In a biggish vehicle, I think 5,300 pounds. 0 to 60 is 8.2. MPG is pretty good though, 1825. Part of that though is the transmission seems programmed to really hunt top gear all the time, and when you need some punch in cut and thrust driving, it's got to drop down several cogs to deliver it, which isn't a great driving experience. And in all-wheel drive trim like our car, the pollution and greenhouse scores are a 7 out of 10, that's not bad, but a 4 out of 10 is a little soft on the greenhouse.
On the road, you just have to wish for the bigger brother to this engine, the 3.6 direct injection V6. or even one of those hoary old V8s that don't really make sense anymore. But more oomph would be nice in this vehicle, especially to brute force the gearbox, which seems to hang on to top gear too hard and for too long. Shifting it yourself does help over in the manual position, but it's not the most rewarding experience.
Tougher than I was led to believe. Let's price this Cadillac SRX. A 2010 all-wheel drive is about $34,000 base. You don't want base, that's not CNET style. You've got to add 2 packages costing almost $12,000 to get this guy done up our way. And that will include the hard drive nav system, hard drive based audio as well, the Bose surround sound, the Bluetooth hands-free, remote start, rear view camera, high intensity discharge adaptive front headlights. The rear seat entertainment system's a la carte, about the only tech that is, for $1,300. And by the way, if you want just front wheel drive, you can peel off $3,600.